Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book on record to play for you. Today's book is Barbie Christmas Party for 1981. So let's get started.
Hi, everybody. This is Barbie, and this is your Barbie read-along book. Every time you hear this chime, it means that you should turn the page in your storybook. Now we are ready to begin our adventure into the land of fun. Open your book, and we will start the story of a Barbie Christmas party. Remember, when you hear the chime, turn the page. Christmas is one of my favorite times of year. There is something about the holiday time that makes people forget about their problems and start to think about others. Since Christmas is a time of sharing, Ken and I decided to give a big Christmas party for all of our friends. Everyone was invited. PJ, Christy, Skipper, and Scott, and lots of our other friends from the neighborhood. I was sure it would be a great party, but I learned something. No matter how carefully you plan, things don't always turn out the way you hope they will. Let me tell you what happened at my Christmas party. Weeks before the party, I started shopping for the gifts. I like to shop carefully and pick out presents that I know my friends will like. Gifts don't have to cost a lot of money in order to be special, as long as you take the time to pick out a gift that you know the person will really like. PJ likes to paint, so I got her a terrific set of watercolors and some nice brushes. I knew she would like that. Christy loves to read, so for her gift, I went to a bookstore and picked out an exciting mystery story. This year, Skipper and Scott are really into roller skating, so I got them a book of tickets for the local roller disco. And for Ken, well, of course, I wanted his gift to be extra special. There is a picture of the two of us that a friend took at the beach last summer. I knew it was one of his favorites, so I had an enlargement made and picked out a beautiful wooden frame. I knew this would make him happy. So I think you see what I mean. None of these gifts were expensive, but because they were all selected with the person in mind, each one made a perfect Christmas present. Next, it was time to pick out the Christmas tree. Ken and I went down to the lot where the trees were for sale and tried to make a selection. But there were so many to choose from, it wasn't easy. Some were too large and some were too small. Finally, after almost an hour of searching, we found a tree in the very back of the lot that was just the size we wanted. It was freshly cut and had that nice pine smell that can fill a whole room with Christmas spirit. Our tree was round and very green, with a straight top branch just right for hanging the star. We knew as soon as we saw it that this was just the Christmas tree for us. We took the tree back to my house, and Ken and I set it up in the corner by the window. It looked beautiful. This year, rather than decorate the tree with store-bought ornaments, I decided to make my own. There are a lot of wonderful decorations that you can make at home for very little money. I cut snowflakes and angels out of colored paper and hung them on the tree with colored thread. Next, we popped some popcorn, and using a needle and thread, we strung the popcorn together and made long garlands to wrap around the tree. We also strung bright red cranberries in the same way. This way, once Christmas is over, you can put the tree out of doors, and all the birds can eat the popcorn and cranberries. When we finished decorating the tree, we stepped back to take a look. It was really beautiful, and it seemed extra special to us because we had made all the pretty decorations by ourselves. I could tell it was going to be a very Merry Christmas. While we were decorating the tree, it began to snow. The snow fell slowly at first, But as the time passed, it began to snow harder and harder. Soon the ground was covered with a thick blanket of fluffy white snow. At first I thought that the snow would make my party more fun. But as the time passed and the snow got deeper, I began to wonder if I was right. Perhaps if it snowed any more, none of my friends would be able to get to the party. It was much too far to walk, and their cars might not be able to make it through all the ice and snow that covered the roads. I looked at the Christmas tree, which stood in the corner. A few hours ago it had looked so happy, but now it seemed a little sad. Our party was supposed to begin at 8 o'clock. When the old grandfather clock in the hall struck 9, I knew that something was wrong. My friends would never be late to a party unless there was a problem. The roads must be blocked by the storm. That meant that after all my work and planning, no one was going to come. I must have had a big frown on my face because Ken tried to cheer me up. It didn't do very much good. All I could think about was how much I had been looking forward to the party. And now, because of this storm, everything was ruined. This wasn't turning out to be a very Merry Christmas at all. Just then, we heard music from outside the house. Ken and I went to the door, turned on the porch light, and looked around to see where the music was coming from. There, in the front lawn, knee-deep in snow, were all our friends. They had all come on skis, snowshoes, and even on sleds. Everyone was dressed in warm sweaters and jackets and had on mittens and woolen hats to keep out the cold. In their arms they carried boxes filled with presents wrapped in brightly colored paper. There on the snowy lawn, everyone was singing Christmas carols. Ken and I joined in the singing. Although the snow was very deep, we decided to go caroling. Ken and I and all our friends walked from house to house in the neighborhood, singing Christmas songs. After an hour or so, we started to get cold, so we all went back to my house to warm up. Once we were inside the house, the party really began. I served hot chocolate and cookies, while Ken built a big fire in the fireplace. Soon, everyone was warm and happy. Finally, it was time to open the presents. By now, there was a big pile of gifts under the Christmas tree. One by one, we tore open the wrappings and discovered what we had received. PJ said that the paint set I gave her was just what she wanted. And I know that Christy loved the book I gave her because she started to read it that very night. Skipper and Scott flipped over the roller disco tickets just like I knew they would. But it was Ken's reaction to the photograph I had given him that pleased me the most. Rather than getting all excited, he reached over and took my hand and thanked me so softly that only I could hear. I knew that my gift was very special to him. By now, the snow had stopped, and outside, under the moonlight, it seemed like a fairyland. The icicles and snowflakes twinkled like a million diamonds. It had been a wonderful Christmas for me. I received so many lovely gifts. But what was even better was that I had my good friends around me to share in the fun. Everyone knows that friendship is the nicest gift of all.
So that was Barbie Christmas Party from 1981. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. And our next book will be Raggedy Ann and Andy Christmas Fun Book.